All right, here we go again. So, what happened was, I went into Walmart to look for that other eye drop, and it was done there. But when I got to the shelf where it was, there was a guy there with his arms folded, looking at the shelf, and then he walked off. And it could be just Satan stance, but that's one of the things they do. So I couldn't buy it from Walmart. I decided to try somewhere else, and I went in there, and they had it. And I'm like, okay, I got to buy it. I got like it's locked up. And then I looked up above it. There was a double pack cheaper than one. See, that's supposed to happen, right? Because I essentially got the other one like paid for. It was on clearance because the box was dented or something. I mean, it's obviously still sealed. And each one is sealed. Thanks, Larry. They would the way they would have did it. The guy that stands there with his arms folded wouldn't have been the guy that actually buys it and takes it off the shelf. Right? If that did happen. Again, they could have been out. They were out a lot of stuff for Walmart, but the prices look better. I think it's still no. Walmart was like $16 for one, so I paid like 14. Actually, I paid 14 for two. 14 something for two. So that's what's supposed to happen in life. I even probably could have got another $3 off at a Walgreens thing. But I don't know. It's off 15. It was like a few cents cheaper than 15, but it had tax. So I don't know if it's. Or I could have bought something for a dollar. But see, the voice said in regular life, that happens all the time. You go in, and you have the coupon, right? But they ruined your life, man. They just ruined it. That's just what they did the whole time. They ruined his life. Try killing him. See, and this is the problem, like with the immigrants. A lot of people get angry. It's like a white veteran with all this, law enforcement experience and helping, and I get nothing. And then immigrants come here and get everything. Right? You watch them have parties, life. Right? Not all immigrants are being deported. Yeah. Right. Yeah, they weren't supposed to do my life. Not one bit. They made a mess and then tried to say they had to police the mess. Right. That's one of my big problems now. I can't take anti-inflammatories until I get my stomach back to normal. I haven't been. I guess I take turmeric, but I probably could use the inflammatory, whatever it's called. It's like a natural thing has aspirin in it, but I swear ibuprofen don't help me. Right. And aspirin's a little dangerous, but I gotta just eat with it. Now there is a lot of pushback on broadcasting the Book of Mormon. That's got to be analyzed by some. So there will be something coming to Earth. Whoa. Look at that. Well, essentially, what God said when I woke, or the spirits, or whatever it was, it said that they all lie to God. And that was one of the problems. So I guess my mission was to get he come to the solar system or whatever it was to find. I don't know why I was on Venus instead of at Earth. But I essentially was theoretically living a life on Venus. You can't see it because it's a different dimension. It's a spiritual dimension. There's a spiritual Earth. You can't see it. That's where like Turtle Island is and all that stuff. It's not here. It's at the spirit. It's on the spiritual Earth. That's why you can't see it. Dakota, Turtle Island, it's in the spiritual. No, it's in your mother's Earth. It's the mother. Mm-hmm. I just threw my whole life, man. I just can't even imagine all the time it went by. It isn't your average life where you go, wow, my life went by in a flash. I mean, there was nothing in there. They killed everything. That was a young guy that was standing at counters. Pretty interesting. I'll go after an elderly disabled guy, huh? If he was one. I call each other. I tell them to go screw with somebody. I mean, they're sick. Been sick their whole life. Okay, there's gonna be a car accident at Quivira, and I think it's 137. We need to heal that. Yeah, 137. So it wasn't the one was considered more liberal and one was considered more conservative. The three in the top running, the centrist one. And I guess that's they don't want they want to look. I think they all want that, or they want a more neutral thing. But again, they said that Francis was considered a centrist, which maybe he's actually a liberal. I don't know. Well, the point is, like I explained, when people are things that you don't think they should be, then you have to heal them. So, again, pushing people away from the church, I mean, you have to have your standards, I guess. And the thing is, there are churches that cater to alternative communities. But the thing is not to run them into the ground, to let them exist, because you don't want them in your church, right? That's the point. You have to provide something for you. This is weird. I can't find my keys. Some sort of spiritual world for them. Some sort of spiritual life. Now, the last 5 years really bonked me. I mean, if they had stayed away from me and I could have got to this level of care. Believe me, it wasn't COVID. It's them and COVID. You understand that? Right. Well, if I could just moved in Oklahoma, I don't think this would have happened. I actually had a 2-bedroom I was looking at. I was so close. I told the woman I want it, and then she shook her head no, and it just freaked me out because they did so much to me over the years.
100%.
I do feel a little better than yesterday. Oh, I was in pain yesterday. Tons of pain. Got no idea what. I mean, maybe the inflamma thing worked. Now it's fine on my left side until I just went out in the car. So I'm not sure what that trigger is that's doing it. But I definitely was experiencing the early parts of this in Naples, Florida. So again, I had to buy another one, but it was priced well enough to pay for the one that I left in here. Again, manufacturers are responsible for that. They're supposed to be able to protect you from these type of things happening. Now my left side goes real weak because something gets pinched. It shuts off the power. Like it goes too tight or too loose, Actually, earlier it was kind of okay. I mean, it could still be from that lower lumbar. That's the weird part. Again, if they'd left me be and I could have got to that one doctor, I shouldn't have went to the chiropractor. I should have stayed with the doctor that I found, the first one, and he could have tested me to see if they did a what do they call it? I can't remember what it's called, but they kill the nerve in the middle of the spine or the middle of the vertebrae that senses that it's off balance or something, and if that could have stopped all that cramping, like immediately. Right. And all them years, I couldn't get to nothing. Once I got to that doctor, that was like the last right thing I got to. I mean, the chiropractor I went to said I wouldn't go to that doctor. I'd go to a different doctor. And I didn't even see that doctor. I just saw his nurse's assistant. And, it just, again, with them around you poo-pooing it all day, it's very difficult to get somewhere. No, I'm telling you, they would touch their derriere and they touch the top of the bottle, see if they can infect my eyes and blind me. I mean, they're just sick people, man. One end of the world to the other, they're just sick people. Reverb. I just should have stayed away from my life. That's simple. I mean, there's no reason for those people to be hanging around my wife like that. I mean, they can even want to not do that crazy shit. I mean, I'd have been out in a good life in no time. Well, they act like it's some sort of vendetta. I mean, they're nuts. They're all nuts. But again, they'll go to hell, man. I told the truth to God, and God knows what's going on. Actually, within that, God tells me the truth. Right? About how all this works.
Actually.
Thank you, Larry. Yeah, they were supposed to stay away from me. And my life would have been normal.
Correct.
Let's wash this. They're going to wash the fan because they'll touch their ass and then touch the fan. The sickos. And they give you that bullshit where all the dangerous criminals require people like us. Right. Bunch of bullshit. think it's getting better, so praise God. But it's weird because when I bought the first one, the thing instructed me to buy the other type. To buy that one. And then when I got home, my doctor had given me some, and it's 24-hour instead of 12-hour, and it said it was better. And the thing's still telling me, no, use the other one. It's better to do it twice a day, believe me. Who knows? It could have been, what's that guy's name? Jonathan, what's that guy's name? The guy from Oklahoma. Nichols, yeah, Jonathan. It could have been Jonathan Nichols. Maybe he used it for a while. Speaking of Jonathan Nichols, he probably in his state operating. People did him. Oh yeah, I know what I'm going to do. Try to make it a little thicker. A little corn starch in there. I'm serious. You need to keep them out of people's apartments. That'll land you in hell if you allow that. You don't even have to be the one that's doing it. Good. Well, like I said, go back to cash and all that. You need certain people around you to help you with all of this. Not just a coin box, so I mean. So turn it down a bit. If y'all want to run around and act like you're doing that stuff to me, then I'm going to consider that you do that kind of stuff. Look at me. Look at yourselves. Did this to my life for so many decades. I got no idea what they thought this was. Well, obviously nobody's telling Cash Patel. Nobody knows certain parts of the equation. Right. So you have to be careful who you get rid of because you need them to, instruct you on what you need to do. And again, not everybody that worked on a certain case, if you work on a case, you're gonna lose your job. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Right. Trying to make a roux instead of taking vegetable broth and putting it over rice, but when it's real thin, it's difficult to manage. Right. I bought cornstarch for something else actually. I used too much. Now I got some aches. Let's start again. As soon as I go out in that car and sit. What is it? What is happening? I can't even. I'm not even sure what it's triggering. Let's see if I can undo this. Woo! Ah. I got one of like those J hook things. The pain management guy showed it to me to help release the back. It boggles the mind. I was like, I wasn't perfect. I mean, I still had a lot of disability, but I was like, able to get out there and go shopping and looking for all the stuff for the wood project. And all I know is I tried to get my appointment for my cyst removed, and then next thing I know, it's not like I'd been in my apartment, and then I was sick. I've been sick ever since. Actually. I'm not supposed to say stuff like that. What are you, weirdos? I mean, even if they don't investigate, I don't want everybody to know what happened if something happens, right? I It's low sodium, and I diluted it. I'm gonna have to sprinkle a little salt on that. I'm trying to cool me down right now. What do you do all day? Sick pieces of shit. I mean, like 4 years. You know what? I bet you the VA was supposed to hook me up with hearing aids back then. Right. At least get me started on the whole thing. Right. One miss after another because of deep states in there. What has to happen, I got to grease both sides. And then the left side tightens up a little bit. And the right side releases. They release them both and they both tighten up neutrally. Yeah, I call just my disability in time. They just wouldn't let me treat it. It was by criminal design that they did that. Did you hear that? Sound like a little bit. Was a ton of ill will. Correct. Go look here, see what I got going on. We were trying to live such a simple life, you know. Fine. They just come in and complicate it, make money doing it. The spiritual instruction now is, if they come up in your mind, if anything comes up in your mind and starts talking to you, shut it down. Like, unless you know it's something friendly. Although they'll act friendly, you can kind of feel that they're not. Yeah. I fought my disability several times. I went to California to do that yin yoga. That would have kept me healthy for life. Right. I got to try to find this one credit card. I'm missing a credit card. But yeah, the blip I received was that a lot of people don't send in supplemental paperwork when they trade in their hearing aid, and that could lead to a jam, at least momentarily, because they'll say, "Well, you returned the thing we paid you for." Right? Sometimes people swap them out. I mean, they kind of didn't hem and haw, but I don't think they wanted to do it. But there's no reason for me to have an outdated hearing aid. I'm paying $1,600. Now it'll be $1,700. Right. A couple of people, I didn't know if I should believe them or not, because they were trying to sell me more expensive hearing aids. They said, "Well, that's old technology." Apparently, it is. They hadn't updated, I guess, and now they just did. I mean, if I'd have seen it online, I would have said, "Well, I'm gonna wait." Right. Well, waited a week or two. Correct. And they didn't say anything. I didn't see anything anywhere. It's like on devices, I say, "Well, this is going to be the release date or somewhere around there." Now what happened is I let it get warm in here so I can see the difference also in that. So I just turned the AC up. All right, my humidifier is full of water already. Yeah, I'm definitely off kilter as compared to earlier. You got to figure out what it all is. And part as I sit in that car, my upper muscles started tightening, which might point to ablation therapy. I mean, right, where they kill that nerve. I mean, that would be the next thing where I should have just went to that doctor and he would have figured it out, and I wouldn't have missed a beat. Right. It could still be the lower lumbar. It's one of the weird parts. The question is whether doing that will help it. Right. Now he wants to do a cervical epidural because he thinks that area is the problem, possibly. But I get the massage with that. So whatever it is, if the steroid's up in that area, it should help. No, I'm definitely, as far as allergies, I'm feeling a little better. I don't know why. Who knows? I mean, as weird as it sounds, those drops in my eyes may have actually kicked the antihistamine over the edge, Right. God. I got to monitor that. These drops may be golden. I left it at home. I need to take it with me. And when I went walking, I mean, obviously they broke into my apartment when I went walking before. Right. Well, I need to make sure these go with me. I have to put them in my bag. I'll take my bag with me. I'm like wanting to take another snoot, but I'm trying to find my. I'm kind of in pain right now, and I didn't have any earlier. Now the question is it an allergen that's doing that too? Right. Now, I'm releasing pretty good. My back's released pretty good, but something's a culprit in there. Right. Yeah, I wish I had more knowledge when I started getting the massages and everything. I was, 5 years ago. Again, it's not even my fault. I just would have stayed in Santa Fe with massage therapists and paid them money for the rest of my life. I've been totally healthy. Right. No, they tortured me, man. Oh, I'll tell you what. John, you want me to keep talking? I'll keep talking on you. Jocelyn Looney, the lady friend, did that to me. The same kind of shit. Trying to put it on me. Right. And of course, they're all moving witchcraft and shit, and that's what caused all that craziness in Baltimore. And then John dies. Right.
4% Larry.
And of course, they never let me live a real life after that. Weirdos. Think they're somebody. They're freaking devils, and they'll go to hell. Nah, I didn't live a real life. You see me places, but that's just long enough till they can kill me. Right.
Agreed, Larry.
Well, I think this time my diet's going to work. I'm going to lose like all my weight. I can't eat or I get sick, so we'll be on a simple diet, and that's it. Right. Nah, I have trouble with my stomach for a long time, on and off. The doctors never told me shit. Right. In Santa Fe. Thinking back, I'm wondering if they told them not to tell me anything. Right. But it's simple enough. I mean, there's certain tests you need to take when that happens. I was supposed to go to a stomach doctor. Never told me to do that. Right. Then when I went to the allergist, my blood pressure was up a little bit because I had white coat syndrome, and he's yelling at me, and I don't know if it was a setup or real because he's like freaking out over it, and I never did get my allergies done. He said, I had too much antihistamine in my body. I think it was bullshit, but right, I agree with it. I told them not to treat me. But why would they do that? Because they are who I say they are. Well, Blue Cross Blue Shield said that they were already putting it in the system, so they didn't want to stop the locomotion. Maybe I got some gas. Let me go see if I put it somewhere over there. Check my pockets here. Check my pockets here. It's been nice to just stay in church and have a normal life. They weren't having it. Preacher must have raped a kid or something. Did whatever they said. I mean, that's really what the implication is. Right. Yeah, I still have those floaters, but they're like almost way gone. I've had life. I've never had floaters like that. I almost feel bad. I got a what? What are they called? No, ophthalmologist appointment tomorrow. But I mean, it's gonna be torture. It's like early in the morning. Like, but I got one early in the morning. I need to see an optometrist. That's for sure. I tried to get there today, and I couldn't. But the thing said, go to the ophthalmologist. Just go to the ophthalmologist. That way, nothing else is creeping up. Right. He'll look at it. He'll look at it real good. I mean, I really haven't spent that much on insurance over the years. I mean, I haven't spent like every so often like this happens, and I spend a ton, but it really is much less than everyone else. Right. This is like really a bummer. We'll have to shut that car down and order another one. Right. Now, I was feeling great this morning, but I'm kind of sick right now. I don't even know what it is sometimes. It feels like my back is nice and loose, but then there's some like weird thing inside my back that's like some muscle that I don't know about. It's tight, and it's cutting off all the transmission right, down to the lower lumbar. It's tight. It's loose but tight right here. Right. Like my joint isn't like frozen, but there's it's right around that scapula, and that's where they used to massage me like crazy. They'd spend like a half hour on each scapula in Santa Fe. I mean, I had it licked. I mean, I was praising God and I was warning everybody about their back. I mean, and then they tortured me for so many years, and I couldn't get back to it. Right. Oh my God. Even before COVID. Right. I mean, if somebody would have just did what was right, I'd have had a normal life, and I'd gone to church and done a lot of charity. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. I mean, they all devils, man. Government's full of devils. They don't like anybody else in there anymore. The problem is when people go to church, they're taught false. Right? I'm not talking about being liberal or conservative or anything like that. I'm not taught the truth. So they think they're okay, but they're not. Now, honestly, if you weren't taught the truth and you did some stuff, you might fly. God might let you go. But again, it's only isolated circumstances. Well, because you know not what you do, but you know you do evil, right? That's one of the. Jesus and I thought that up right when I woke up. Like, okay, we got to say this one. They know not what they do, but they know they do evil. Because know not what they do is kind of too open ended, right? They may not know all of the implications, right? But you all might be forgiven. I don't know. Jesus said a lot in his lifetime condemning people. Uh, but again, I can't forgive you. That's why Jesus really can't forgive you either. But he's the conduit. Right? Only the Father can. Correct. That's why the Father likes me so much. I stay Father centric. Yeah, I didn't realize that the Book of Mormon, had a lot of stuff I was saying, like as far as people being condemned. Yeah, there's no doubt I should have been in Mormon. Like if I'd have got to the Book of Mormon earlier, I think I'd have got there. Like, well, this all makes sense. Could God be flesh and blood? Yes and no. Not this kind of. Well, again, it could be this flesh and blood, but if you're in another existence, you don't die, you don't cut. Right? God opens you up, pulls your rib out, makes a woman. It's all possible, because it's all God's like a movie producer. Now, let me look here again. I can't believe I'm injured now. Oh God, doing better this morning. Thanks, Larry. What happened was I was tight for all those years, so it cut off a lot of the pain from it. But I should have never stayed like that because it makes it worse in the end. All right, I got to cut off this card. That's such a sadness. Check back here. I check there. I'll probably find it as soon as I cut it off. Actually. Oh no, I got to make sure there's no payment assigned to that card. It probably is. I got to go to Shmeshmal. Well, but a lot of people, like personally, don't have a problem with saying that there are systems that get the money. It's just if they say it, then they get in trouble, and the system takes their money. Like personally, they don't care that everybody knows that. I mean, because it's just, and it's better that everybody knows that because then everybody can try to do it. Try to be part of it, right? But it's just that evil thing that gets in there that no, they took care of you. He wouldn't. He probably been. He'd been like Trump. He'd been through a bankruptcy. Even Trump. I mean, who goes through bankruptcies and gets up like that, right?
Read Larry.
So it's part of the system.
Correct.
All right. No, I want to go make something else default.
I can Larry.
What the hell number was that one? Oh, it is preferred. Okay, cool. But why did it go to the other one? Oh well. I have to go to Google. Make sure it changed. I was hoping that I could just go in the store and buy the hearing aid, but they said I need an appointment. Right. I tried to buck their system. And, I said, it's generally the same as the other hearing aid. It's just got a little different, couple extra features. Right. They updated the artificial intelligence. It's theoretically it has a better discernment of background noise and voices and I, I even when I was getting a little bit messed up when I couldn't get the massage, but when I got back to the gym with the massage beds, like they had like just hot water jets and a chair you sit in, it would work your back. I was fine then, right? I just kept doing it. I couldn't get through it. I mean, it's witchcraft, is what it really is, but it includes psychology and all that. If we didn't have the witchcraft, the psychology wouldn't work.
Correct. Correctamundo, Mr. Moore.
Now they should have been allowed to be in my life. It's like insane. I mean, people like are in the Marshal Service are just like, they're good people. You're just like, oh my God, it's that bad. Right. Why isn't there, where's my Google with stuff at? Management. I was really happy when I fell asleep last night because I was healthy. I was very healthy feeling. Right. And all of a sudden I was sick again. At a certain point, I was like broadcasting what's going on there. Yeah, well, I paid my student loan, so right, wasn't big, but I didn't need it anyway. I just needed to go in the army. Right. I don't know. I don't know where it came from. It was either Penco Tech with the with the mechanic, or yeah. I was just telling my brother that one guy that raped that girl with his friend. Right. He he was his biggest piece of work because he would always beat somebody up. We'd have a party and people would be drinking, and all of a sudden he'd beat somebody up and the cops would have to come, or at least an ambulance, and then the cops would come, of course. His father had to be connected.
I agree.
What is going on here? I gotta figure out. I got balances all over the place here. I gotta work this out. Trying to centralize everything. Trying to get this card into Google without having to enter it. Oh, that's it. What is that? Card services. That's cards. That's me manage. Google. Add card. Agree. Continue. Continue. So I had an apartment when I was going to Penco Tech, and I don't remember where this guy came from. Oh, well, he beat up like a lot of people, I think. Like no, that was somewhere else. The other guy. The other guy felt so bad. He was like a slow dude who played the guitar. I like beat him up. I'm like, what? It's like, what are you doing? And then, oh yeah, that's what happened. So I had in an apartment, and they went outside and they beat somebody up. So what they do is they come by my apartment and break my window. I was like, oh my god. I'm so hilarious. I had like a studio apartment or something. It's just like every time you turn around, and then like, well, because if you tell them no, you can't stay at this house, they'll beat you up. And I'm not like I am now. It's like a young guy with I didn't even I was really no muscle kind of guy, right? Like Larry. What's it doing? It didn't add for some reason. Thank you, Larry. Oh, I have to look for a notification. I'm not actually seeing one. That's that phone. Let me see. Huh. I don't see it. It says what? Check your. So that's strange. I did the opposite of what the voice said, and it didn't work. And then I did what the voice said, and it worked. As far as my eyes, at least I think it's working. For a notification, I gotta be missing something. Let me clear them all. Guys in messages or it's I'll do my email address, see if it works better. I mean, I had no life. Believe me, I know it looked like I had life, but I had no life. Right? Let me go with the Samsung. It's not making sense. It just went backwards. There it is. I don't think that's good. It just said it saved it. They're doing something. Google payments. I like sneezing because when my sinuses are screwed up, I don't sneeze. So that means my sinuses are starting to open up and work. It didn't add. How dare they? They're hacking me. I wonder if it would have helped if I put the other thing on. Hackers, 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 hackers. Actually, that'd have been nice to have a regular life and be with somebody. And my Google still has the address in Florida. What the hell? I changed it like a million times. That's them, I bet. All right, there it is. I make it default. Make it default. I'm gonna remove that one. There it is. You have to remove it, and then when you do that, it asks you to save the other card. Oh, wait, where's my phone? Where's my phone? All right, so now I gotta go to. I'm sure my card's somewhere, but until I order a new card, it won't work. I won't find it, and as soon as I order a new card, then I'll find it. Regularly. Please let me do this online. Ah, I call the number. I hate when you can't do it online. I think it's Discover that's like the best one for lost cards. Let me look to see if I have my credit card stuff before I do this. Oh, there it is. It's in my wallet the whole time. What do you know? Yeah, Discover. I think Discover does that. Yeah, Discover like works hard to keep itself up. Now that card I was going to stop doesn't have a lot of space on it anyway. I got but it's just a low budget card. It's got the hearing aid on it. So I went to Villanova, usually known as Father Bob, the heavy metal preacher, Pastor Bob. Well, Pastor Bob's pretty cool because he tells you, I don't understand this whole transgender thing, but he says it says whosoever, you know. I can't believe I stopped watching Pastor Bob and everything.
Hi, this is Pastor Bob, and welcome to Pastor Bob Daily. Well, this is one of those days where I have a question that is more easily not answered. Sometimes when I do a question, I know I'm going to get in trouble, and it's easier not to do it, but I've made a commitment that I'm going to answer questions. And so this is one of those days. Are you ready? This question says, can transgender people be good Christians? There's a question. Well, let's go back to the cross again. And, we always go there when we try to figure these things out. That's our pivotal point to figure out what God likes and what he doesn't and what the love of God is really all about. And can I just tell you, folks, that, you know, when we fail to go all the way back to the cross, we have all kinds of opinions. But let's go there. Who did Jesus die for? Well, the Bible says whosoever. Let's go back to that verse. We did it yesterday. Simple verse, John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son. And what about that? That whosoever would believe in him would not perish but have everlasting life. There's the whosoever. Now, we have a lot of problems with the whosoever. Because you see, I think most of us would be a little more selective. Our whosoevers would include people who haven't made huge mistakes, people who are more like us, people who have much of the same belief system. Some people say, well, only Baptists, whatever. But our whosoevers are a whole lot more limited than God's. When God says whosoever, folks, he means whosoever. Now, this term good Christian is an interesting one because there is no such thing as a good Christian. There is simply saved Christians. And that's what I am, and that's what you are. And the Bible says no one is good, not even one. Our attempts to be righteous is like filthy rags, the Bible says. We just can't do it. And so herein lies the problem. When I say that I believe that certain people can be Christians and others can't, I'm not being true to that scripture. Now, let's take a step more. And he said, can they live a good life? Can they be good Christians? And good life is relative. There are some quote unquote normal people who live horrible lives. They're depressed all the time. And, you know, I don't know a lot of transgender people. I do know a few. And I know some that have become Christians, some that have been really sorry that they went through the transgender operations, and some that actually feel good about it. And I don't understand all of that. That's not my mentality, but I understand that it is some. And I realize that there are people who are transgender, who are gay, who are some of those things that we call sinful, that we also, I guess, condemn them to hell as well. But you can't get past the whosoever part. And and God told us also to love unconditionally. And folks, when we set certain people groups, certain kinds of people, especially people that we don't understand and can't relate to, and we set them up as a hate group, we're the ones that are hating, then we really limit what God's doing, and we don't do what God asked us to do, and that is to love others unconditionally. You see, people who are gay, people who are transgender, people who have long hair, people who have beards, whoever, God told us to love each other unconditionally. We don't always have to understand. We don't always have to approve, but we always need to love. And I hope you'll do that with whoever it is, transgender as well. God bless you. Have a great day. At just past 1 in the morning on December 18th, 2024,
Another cop
officers
show.
from the Urbana Police Department stopped a
I can't do the cop show again. Not again.
suspected drunk driver who was allegedly
Corrupt
swerving
sheriff
between
promises
lanes and
to
remained
destroy
stopped at a
cop's
green
career.
light for over 10 seconds. If they haven't already, they will soon find out that he is the active Champaign County Sheriff Matthew Melvin, ranking well above the officers pulling him over. (2411-2) for track stop. I'm going to be out on Jefferson. The initial officer is a new recruit with just over a year of experience, while the secondary officer, Sergeant Sean, has worked in the same jurisdiction for nearly 25 years alongside Matthew and is almost certainly very familiar with who he is. How you doing tonight? Doing pretty good. I'm Officer John Van Police Division. The reason we stop is you're kind of all over the road back there, and then you were stopped at a green light. Right by First Circle. Yep. Yes, sir. All right. You smell an alcoholic beverage, and there's vomit on the side of the vehicle right now. Really? Yes, sir. You ever driver's license by chance?
So the sheriff vomited on the side of his vehicle from inside, and it smells like alcohol.
You're good. Thank you. Go back with you, okay? Here, the county sheriff's identification is fully verified as he presents a distinctive license for his position. Well, smell it? Yeah, there's vomit on the side of the car. There is? Yeah, I mean, he's hammered. Have him step out. Yeah. Don't mess around with it. Okay. All right, sir, I'm going to have you step out of the vehicle. Really? Yes, sir. Come on, walk over here, okay? Matt, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, okay. I just want to make sure you're not grabbing something, all right? Oh, really? Go over here. Oh, it's all right. Move your wrist flat, okay? What's that? Really? Really what? We're just going to go over here with flat, Matt. We're going to do some tests.
Why did you say drunk?
Yeah.
That's horrible.
You know what? What? I said, we're going to walk over here and do some tests. No. So you stay right here. Stop right there. You got a gun with you? Don't act this way. Don't. Sheriff, don't.
The officers ask about his gun not just for safety. Having a gun in the vehicle while committing an OVI offense is a serious felony and could cost the county sheriff his right to carry.
What year was it?
We're going to do some
6
tests.
days ago.
Okay? Yeah. All right, so let's walk on. You can make a phone call.
Officers sit in silence for 10 seconds while Matthew goes through his phone.
Amazing.
Another 10 seconds drags by.
Where do you want to take me?
What's that? Over here to this pavement to do some tests.
Okay.
All right.
Are you drunk?
You standing on over here?
Yep.
I mean, why didn't call? You get attacked, you're free. Every cop, yeah, they Uber and Lyft that.
For an additional 15 seconds.
Freezing.
It's cold out.
Yeah, freezing.
Are you trying to call Josh Jacobs?
No.
Lieutenant Josh Jacobs reports to Matthew and is the direct commanding officer of the uniformed police on scene. It is unclear if the call connects, and no records are currently available to confirm who Matthew is attempting to call.
All right, well, let's get done with that, and let's go ahead and finish these tests, all right? Are you refusing to take the test? Is that what you're doing?
Okay.
Matt, refusing to take the test?
No, I refuse to take the test.
All right, then let's go over here to where it's flat.
I like to go home.
Okay. We'll do this testing first and make sure you're okay to drive, man. It's strong smell of alcohol. You can't drive very well, and there's puke all down the side of your car.
I'm not puking down my car.
There is.
No, there's not.
Yes, there is.
There's not.
Okay, so we're going to do some tests to make sure you're safe to drive. If you're refusing to take the test, we'll be placing you under arrest for OVI.
Really?
Yes.
They're absolutely amazing.
So I'm asking you to take some field sobriety test, Matt. Can you do that?
Silence goes for another 25 seconds.
All right, let's get our stuff done first here, and you can make some phone calls here in a minute, all right? What's that? All right, let's step on over here. We're going to take some field sobriety tests, all right, Matt? Are you refusing? Are you refusing to take the test? That's what I'm asking you. Are you refusing to take the test? Yeah, I'm recording. Yes.
I don't care.
Okay.
Silence continues for over 30 seconds.
All right, man. I'll let you make a couple of phone calls, but we got to get this moving along here. So are you going to take some field sobriety testing? We need to do the field sobriety test, all right?
No.
Are you refusing to do them?
Yep.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to have to place you under arrest for OVI.
Really?
Yeah.
For what?
For driving under the influence of alcohol. Do you have a gun on you?
Really?
Yes. Matt, you're under arrest. Don't you resist. Don't.
Really? I'm not.
Just place your car.
You're amazing.
Thank you. Other hand, please. Other hand, please. Don't resist. He's got broad shoulders. He doesn't like us out. I'm trying to find him up. I don't think you are.
I am?
I said I don't think you are. Yeah, it's because there's two of them on it. All right, I know you're not. I'm going to leave your knife in the truck, all right?
Yeah.
I told you.
Yeah. With me.
Send in the truck.
Yeah. You double lock them, Sarah. I'll get better on you, you know.
You got the right to remain silent, you understand that? Anything you say can be used against you in court, you understand that? You have the right to speak with an attorney before you question him. If you can't afford one, we'll give you a for you by the court. You understand those rights?
You understand? You know I'm doing my job. I know you know what I'm doing.
Yep, sheriff's drunk. Well, stay peaceful, praise God, and all you do, praise God.
Right, turn around. Put your butt down first. I see so hard, all right? So put your butt down first and slide in. Oops, oh, damn, dude, I'm trying to hurt you. You all right? You all right, man? All right, yeah? Okay.
Questionable practices may reflect the public's growing frustration behind his leadership. One case, notably occurring after the primary election, involves Matthew arresting St. Paris Police Chief Eric Smith at the Champaign County Fair in August of 2024, making Matthew the second known officer arrested in the county in a matter of roughly 4 months. Off duty, out of uniform, and out of jurisdiction, Eric was arrested by Matthew at a privately run county fair for trespassing and obstruction after refusing multiple times to store his handgun in compliance with the fair's no-gun policy. The charges were later dropped, likely due to Ohio's House Bill 228, which permits officers to open carry if their badge is displayed, something Eric had, despite being